Alright, we're here with a quick rank here with an Admitted deck. No changes have been made. I've just got back from a trip away, so there's not anything major done in the brewing. I'll have some Eldraine content coming later. Our opponent blocks the blue-red land. They drop a Mirror, so this is very clearly creativity, which I would like to stress. We can't have Felidar Guardian in the format because they don't want a turn 5 combo deck. But a But a highly efficient, highly efficient tournament-winning deck that can ramp up to a win on turn 4 with counter backup is totally okay. Yeah, apparently it is. So we're just going to fix here, get our final land here. We have a Leyline Binding, but it really doesn't matter at this point. Basically, game 1 is a wash if they find the creativity, because all they'll literally do is creativity, hold up one counter spell, and we'll be unable to stop them unless we have triple interaction. They go for big score here. So they're now set up to go, however they're not going to do it into a full on board. They play a Fable the Mirror Breaker, get more clues. More arguments why Fable should be banned. We find a Mizzet here, so what we can do is we can cast a Mizzet and hold up a Leyline Binding. I have to put pressure on the board here, so I'm going to go for it. They clearly have a counter here, so we've technically already lost this game. So this game's a write-off here because they'll just get the combo win and have a counter to protect it, so we can move on to game 3. Our only hope really is that we can find our sideboard cards and win. Otherwise, it's just over. And I know some people think that's a bit hesitant, but it is basically the case here. This holding back means that they have interaction. This, obviously, you know the stall check here. So yes, they don't loot with Fable, they shock in a land, they activate, they have the win. It's pretty much the most boring contemplation as you can imagine. They waited till turn 6 because we might have interaction, but yeah, this game's over. They still have the mana to counter our spell, so here we go, try. Yeah, so someone explained to me why this combo and this protection is perfectly legal, but we can't have a Felidar Guardian Saheeli turn 5 interaction with like multiple 6 or 7 potential interaction points, but we get the one of interaction point on this combo, which is more consistent because it's basically the modern deck. Apologies for the rant, but there's literally nothing good to say on this matchup. I did 3 matches to clear the dailies to get me back up to date. Crafted some Eldraine stuff. So the matches aren't the greatest content. Yeah, creativity is a hit and miss. Basically, here's our sideboard now. So we've got to find interaction here. This hand is keepable, but there's no interaction, so we've got to mulligan again. But we do find some interaction here. Fortunately though, we don't have another blue or white source, so we've got to pray that we top deck that. If we don't, we've pretty much lost. Okay, we do have an option here. Now I'm going to choose to be a bit greedy here and get green, because otherwise we're just going to die to them putting things on the board. They play the Ruby Tracker. They already have a counter, you can see, because there was a stall there where they could have cast something. They Impulse. I don't think this deck is too good, no. I think it has the same issue as most of Pioneer, where we have to ban Fable of the Mirror Breaker. We missed a land drop, so we've pretty much already lost here, so if we do not, so we're just going to concede and move on. That's the sad truth for this matchup. If you stumble against a combo deck, you're just going to die. Second match here, we're up against Malice 27. Drop a Triome. They drop a Burning Tree, into a Burning Tree, into a Lightning Strike. This isn't as troublesome as, see, we can just Tyrant Scorn, put them down to 1 Burning Tree. Hope they don't have much more gas. Yeah, for 2. We play a Fabled Passage. They drop another land. They go in for 2 here, I'm going to take it. In the end step, I'm going to crack the Fable. Get a green source. We're playing the Isolated Chapel here, so we have 2 removal spells. We can go double Leyline or Vanishing versus Leyline. They drop a Monastery Swift Spear. I consider using the Cosmic Rebirth here, but instead I'm just going to get rid of their board here. So Vanishing first one, wait till they attack, Leyline Binding the other, and our opponent concedes because they ran out of gas there. Bring in the Fatal Pushes, we'll go down some of our late game here. Ultimately trying to decide what we want in for these Fatal Pushes. I take out Edgar and I take out one Niv here. Basically, if we can just survive the initial onslaught of these aggro decks, we're in a pretty good spot. Right, we have interaction and it's great, so let's see what our opponent does on one. They have a Leyline of Combustion and play a Fanatical Firebrand. This is great though, because what we can do now is we can drop our tap land. They haven't had a crazy start, we'll just see what they follow up with. A Kumano, Faces of Kazam, and another Fanatical Firebrand. They attack in, we'll play another tap land. They go to combat, attack. We will Fatal Push here. We take 2 from the ley line, but they are down to 1 creature, put us down to 13. We'll drop a Fable of the Mirror Breaker, just to give us a 2/2 blocker. We get Lightning Strike down to 10. They flip the Kamuno, go to combat, attack us, we'll trade. Life total preserving is way more important right now. We get to loot away 2 cards here, so we'll loot away 2 shock lands because we're not going to pay life. Play another land, play the second Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and our opponent concedes because basically we'll just be throwing out blockers to get rid of them. Very quick matchup there. Third match here, we're up against Sigil. We start with a tap land. They play a Mosswood Dread Knight. We draw 2 Niv Mizzets, 3 Niv Mizzets in a row. So we'll shock in a land here to hold up a Leyline Binding. We'll Leyline Binding the Mosswood Dread Knight. They play a land into a Lily of the Veil. They plus. They play a tap land. They play a land into a Glisser. They activate again, we just got another Niv Mizzet. We shock in, play our Kaito. We will plus, so they can't do anything but attack there. They can't attack or block, sorry. They plus again, so we'll get rid of our board wipe. They realise they can't attack here. We're going to shock in and play my Niv Mizzet. We only hit 2 cards, which is like the worst luck we've had recently. I don't know what they've done to this algorithm, but Arena has really messed with the Niv piles. Like, I've been getting so bad. They draw, they ultimate Liliana. They make us choose between lands and permanents, and unfortunately, it's better if we just take lands. Well, in hindsight, thinking back on it, it might have been better if we just took our... Yeah, we've had to throw away 3 Nivs because our deck has given us nothing. We do not draw anything here, so we'll Wandering Mind. If we don't find a board wipe effect here, we're going to concede, which we don't. We find 6 more lands. We hit 8 lands with Niv, and we hit, you know, this is where I'm just frustrated. We just run it back. Our deck is pretty good if it does not give us all of our top end 5 drops in a row, meaning that we can't play the game. As long as we have a good solid curve, we're okay. This is a good solid curve, so we'll play it out. They drop a land into a Fortsies. Take away Assassin's Trophy. We drop a land in Shocked, so we can answer their 2-drop if they play it. They don't, so we'll run out of Wandering Mind. That finds us a Kaito. Kaito with Wandering Mind is in the same synergy that we like to abuse. They activate Liliana. -2 Lily. We're going to shock and here and play our Kaito. We're going to make our drone, which can guarantee a Lily kill here. They'll make us discard, we'll get rid of the land. They shock down and play a Scavenging Ooze. And nothing else. So we can plus Kaito to prevent the Ooze from blocking or attacking. Swing in with the drone to kill Liliana. Play another Wandering Mind. Grab ourselves the Growth Spiral. Cosmic Rebirth is pointless with the Screws on there because they'll just eat anything. We let them use their Ooze here. They play an Invoke Despair. So I'm going to sack the drone, we're going to sack the Kaito. We can Tyrant Skull in the Ooze, so they've got nothing else. Swing in with our Wandering Mind, play a land. We'll put Yorion into hand here. Opponent plays another land and plays a Questing Beast. We don't want to take 4 here, so we will bounce that to their hand. They play another Scavenging Ooze. We can use a Kolaghan's Command here. We'll swing in with the Mind, and we'll actually use Yorion first, because it can block Questing Beast. We get another Wandering Mind activation, we find Leyline Binding, which is fully reduced. They run out their Questing Beast. They move to combat. There's not enough creatures in the graveyard for them to eat to be big enough for Scavenging Ooze to actually kill us, so we'll just Questing Beast, Leyline Binding away. They play a Glissa. We pass, move to combat, we attack in with everything here. We'll Growth Spiral, we get a Vanishing Verse. So we can Vanishing Verse Screws so they can't gain any life. And then we can upkeep, make them discard their draw and do 2 damage, so they are effectively dead to anything that happens here. So they could draw with the castle, but they go down to 5, then go down to 3, then they need basically an Invoke Despair effect to basically stay alive, but they don't have it, so they concede and move on. We had Lethal in the air. Moving into game 3, we're just going to run it back like that. So yeah, pretty unproductive start. We got hit with the most basic combo deck that really infuriates me, that we can't have more other fun combo decks, but we can have like the degenerate one. Well, not degenerate, I'll do a video talking about it. But yeah, I would love to place a Healy Cat in Pioneer. Alright, this is a solid hand, so we keep this, we go into 2. They go on to 2 and they've run out a Dreadmaw Knight. We play a land here and pass, we're going to take 3. They're up to 3 mana. See what they follow up with. They play Lily of the Veil, so we'll Growth Spiral, draw, put a land to play. They're going to plus again, we'll discard a Niv because we seem to be drawing all of them. Play a tap land here, run out the Mirror Breaker, force their Lily to sack it, or use removal from their hand on it. We don't want to trade here with the Mossworn Knight, we'll just let him swing in. See what they do with Lily. They force us to sack it. I'm okay with that. We discard 2 cards and draw 2 more cards, but find no interaction. Sorry, no lands. So we'll make another Goblin here. See what they do with this. They shock in the land, and they have another Invoke Despair. I'm going to get rid of the 2 chapter because I desperately want to try and get rid of I want to loot into land if I can, which we do here. I'm going to get rid of the Vanishing Verse, which is a controversial choice. I'm going to go for the Mid-Mizzet, which is a bit greedy, but we only hit 1 card again, which enrages me so hard that we are hitting so bad with these Niv flicks. They have another Invoke Despair, and this one's just over. We had no chance. Hope you enjoyed the video.